Hello and welcome to a video on Power Query. This is Saad Usman. Today I am going to take you through the basics of Power Query. Power Query is residing in Office 365 under the Data tab under this group Get and Transform Data. What we are going to do is we have a file in a folder called Karachi Sales. I am going to import this data and perform some basic transformations. So let's just dive into it. To import data into Power Query, I will have to click on Get Data, and in Get Data we have various options. I'm going to use the first option from File, from Workbook, and then I will have to specify from which workbook I am importing the data. I have my data stored in this Power Query folder, which is the file name is Karachi Sales, and I just have to click Import. When the data is into Power Query, you can have a preview of the data. Data looks fine, and you can just click Transform Data because we want to have some transformations first. Some cleaning up has to be done before importing the data into the Excel. So we have this data in Power Query. This is a Power Query editor. We can replace the name of the query. I am going to name as Karachi Sales. F stands for fact table. So F Karachi Sales, and this data is in this horizontal format in which the column headings are not coming up correctly. So we are going to promote the first row as column headers. In order to do that, I'm going to click on this small button on the top left, and on this I will have this use first row as headers. Another place to do this is transform, and transform in which we have use first row as headers. I'm going to click this. Excel has promoted the first row into headers, and all the steps are being recorded on the right side under applied steps. Okay, by the way, I don't need this total column, so I can just remove this. Right click, remove column. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to unpivot the data. I want the data in a vertical format, all the columns from January to December, and I will right click and unpivot columns. You can do this from here, and even you can click on the transform tab and click unpivot columns. There you go. The data is in a vertical format now. We have products. Attributes is basically we can type month, and value we can type sales, and I'm going to export this. So we can have this month name here, and now we can export this data back into Excel file by performing close and load 2. We have two options, close and load 2. Close and load 2 will give you further options to export data into Excel. So if I click close and load 2, a pop-up box will come up. In this pop-up box, it asks me where I want to import my data. I can either import data into new worksheet or existing worksheet. I'll click existing worksheet, and I want to import data from cell A1, and click OK. And there you go, all the data has been imported now. This is the basic feature of Power Query, to import data inside of Power Query and then make changes to it, and then you can export back to Excel in your desired format. In the future videos, I'm going to share further transformations and advanced features of Power Query. Thanks for watching.